TSW Timber Group is the largest integrated forestry business in the UK. We aim to be the leading, most technically advanced and innovative business in the timber industry. To achieve that goal, we are constantly moving forward.
Good clean water is vital for our economy, our environment and our social well-being. We rely on its quality for our drinking water, wildlife, tourism and leisure activities. It is vital that we all play a part to protect our water from pollution. Diffuse pollution is one of the biggest risks to our water environment. Diffuse pollution is where polluting substances enter our rivers and groundwater from land drains, site runoff and ground seepage. In forestry and harvesting work, diffuse pollution includes dirty water runoff from tracks, roads and working sites. Also contributing to diffuse pollution is quarry runoff and spills of chemicals and oils. The amount of pollution on one work site may seem small and insignificant, but pollution on many working sites added together can be extremely harmful to a water catchment. Poor site planning and management, together with high rainfall and heavy machinery on steep ground or loose soil, all increase the risk of pollution. Pollutants get into drains, ditches and groundwater. Pollutants can then end up in a watercourse many miles from a working site. When dirty water runoff enters our streams and rivers, it can cause serious environmental damage, both immediately and in the long term. In excessive volumes, polluting sediment can blanket cover fish spawning beds, smother insect life and strip rivers of oxygen. Diffuse pollution is one of the biggest pressures on our water environment across the UK. A watercourse is any channel that carries water. This does include man-made furrows and drains connecting to rivers, even drains that may be dry at the start of the work. On our sites, you must take care not to release muddy water into drains connected to streams and rivers. Before work starts, we must plan to take account of all the watercourses on site and disconnect drains to prevent diffuse pollution. In summary, diffuse pollution happens when substances such as fuels, oils and sediment from soil disturbance make their way from the source along pathways such as old drains, roads, tracks and down slopes and end up in a water environment sometimes many miles away. The environmental regulators are the Environment Agency, SEPA and NRW. They are the main bodies responsible for enforcing legislation in their respective countries, England, Scotland and Wales. Diffuse pollution is harmful and illegal discharge to water. The environmental regulators have the power to prosecute both the company involved and also employees. The penalties that can be imposed range from £50,000 and or 6 months imprisonment to unlimited fines and 5 years imprisonment. Diffuse pollution threatens our rivers and drinking water supplies. It can result in heavy fines, clean-up costs, bad publicity and possible loss of business for the contractor responsible.
Hello, I'm John Gorman and I'm the Forestry Sector Lead Officer for the Scottish Environment Protection Agency. What you're about to see in this video are examples showing the importance of good site management to ensure that forestry operators comply fully with all environmental rules and regulations. The aim of this video is to keep forestry managers and contractors on the right side of the rules, to reduce the risks of pollution and to improve forestry practices.
If you're on a site where a pollution incident has or is about to happen, then you must stop, think what action must be taken immediately, act by contacting the Forest Works Manager, act by stopping the flow of muddy water, clearing up any spills and preventing further pollution where this is possible. Before any work activity starts on site, the manager will have planned the activity and considered in discussion with the contractor the best machinery for the work. Good planning before work starts will identify the high risk areas of diffuse pollution and will consider the work activity sensitive areas and include the weather. A pre-start meeting is held and a plan agreed about what needs to be in place on site to manage the risks. The site may be walked and watercourses and areas requiring close attention identified. You'll be told about your responsibilities at this meeting. If you weren't at the pre-start meeting, then you should be provided with information and instructions which were agreed at a separate site briefing. Make sure you know where watercourses and drains run and be sure you are given enough information about the site. You will receive a copy of the work instruction and any site rules. There will be a risk assessment which will cover environmental issues as well as health and safety risks. If you weren't at the initial pre-start meeting, this should be briefed to you when you arrive new to the site. Supporting the documents provided, you should have a map which gives you a plan for the site. It will identify where watercourses and other sensitive areas such as drinking water supplies and waterlogged ground are. As well as being familiar with the map for the site, you should know your responsibilities for maintaining brash mats, checking watercourses and blocking off drains. You should be told where the watercourses and drains run and always check that the drains on this site are disconnected from streams. Once the work starts on site, you'll need to keep checking as historical drains may be revealed as the work progresses. Around water and water supplies, you'll need to keep machines a certain distance away. You will also need to keep areas clear of other activities, such as the storage of oil and fuel. Diffuse pollution can have serious consequences for drinking water supplies. Forestry operations can disturb and contaminate these supplies because the equipment used to treat drinking water can be easily overloaded or damaged. Keep at least a 5-metre buffer along either side of the pipe. Avoid crossing pipes around any abstraction points for water supplies and observe a minimum of 5 metres buffer around any holding tanks. Watercourses and water supplies must be protected using buffer areas of the minimum set by the UK Forestry Standard. You should understand these different buffer areas. They should also be marked on the site map. The Forest Works Manager will be able to provide you with a sticker to keep inside your machine as a reminder of these buffer areas. Always make sure before starting work that you are briefed, understand the plans to protect the water from diffuse pollution and know your responsibilities. You'll be expected to be checking that pollution is not being created as work activities progress. You must also know who to contact if things go wrong. If there is a direct risk of diffuse pollution, you should always stop work and contact the Forest Works manager.